All right, y'all got a few minutes to kill here. Just want to do a little talk for about 15, 20 minutes because it's another big fight week, right? Just hold on 1 second. All right, hold on 1 second, y'all. All right, y'all. It's fight week. It's fight week. We here again, man. So just want to fill y'all in on the card, the time, because it's not as early as last weekend's card, but it's another early one. It's like an afternoon card because this is not a Vegas card. It's a Paris card, so it's gonna be starting a little bit earlier. All right, so let's see. Fight week again, man. Fight week. Got a couple. No, we got 3 fights, right? Got a couple fights on the prelims. Of course, we got this one. Again, we got a main event. The WMMA fans, we got a main event. Of course, it's the co-main event. We got Manon taking on Rose. It should be a good fight. And I noticed a lot of people are really starting to feel like this is a competitive fight too. I know a lot of y'all. There's a lot of people that are picking Rose and thinks that she has a good chance to win. So to me, I don't think we can really see this as a mismatch anymore, right? I mean, there's some of us that say, okay, she might be too big for Rose. Rose might be too small for the division, but there's a lot of people thinking that she has the skills and the talent to do this. So really, when it comes down to it, this ain't really a mismatch, right? It should be a good competitive fight. I mean, if you're dealing with a former two-time champion, they're going up in weight, of course, which is the real test. But when it comes down to the skills and talent, um, it should be a pretty competitive fight, right? It should be a solid test for both, then, because really, that's what it's coming down to, right? Just making sure that the fighter that is moving up in weight has the right tools for taking on a bigger, stronger fighter, right? All right, hold on 1 second here. Like I said, I'm just killing a little time and just discussing this one, man, because this is an interesting fight. Style wise, it should be interesting. All in all, I don't think. Hang on. All right. Okay, let me see. What's up, Sync Zaman? Yeah, overall, like I was saying, I don't think this is going to be, it shouldn't be a bad fight. I don't think it's going to be a boring fight because I think with these two type of styles, um, both are going to try to engage. Both are going to try to, force the fight at times. Hopefully, you know, um, this is Manon's first fight since October. Almost been a year since she's been in the cage. Since she's torn a ligament, come back. So hopefully she's back in shape, fighting shape. And Rose, she's been out for over a year, right? In that time off, she hasn't really. Well, I won't say she hasn't really. We don't know like how hard she has been training behind the scenes, but Rose has been doing other things as far as tightening up her ground game and making sure that she's getting better on the ground and hiring a new wrestling coach, all of that, putting all of that together. So I think with that, plus the fact that maybe she shouldn't have too much of a rough weight cut, it should be an interesting fight. I know some, even myself, feel like, okay, maybe the speed might be an advantage over Manon in this fight, but is it really? We'll see. With the extra weight added on, we'll see if it will. Because we have never seen her fight at flyweight before, so we'll see how she has to do in the division. Because unlike unlike Alexa Grasso, Rose, she's jumping right into a higher level fight. See, Alexa, she kind of fought her way up in the division to kind of grow into it and to get better along the way as far as the skills that she needs to take on bigger, stronger women. But, Rose, she's jumping right in. So that could be another downside for her. Yes, she's working behind the scenes, but you're dealing with, somebody that's already been in this division and that's already naturally bigger, you know? But that all comes down to Manon, too, if she's going to be the type of fighter to make a big adjustment in this one and not try to play chess with Rose, because everybody knows that now. Everybody should know by now that when you take a fight with Rose, you have to put the pressure on her. You have to keep her moving, staying in her chest, and be more of a physical type of fighter. And I think that's the type of fight that Manon's gonna have to really fight in this one. And when I look at other fights just a couple weekends ago, when I look at Aaron and Tyler Santos and Whaley and Lamos, I'm hoping that Manon, she can be that type of fighter that flows like water or makes those adjustments, because that's one thing about Aaron and Whaley showed me this past weekend is the fact that they have high IQs, and if somebody has like a better weapon, they don't mind, or maybe a potential better weapon, they don't mind going, dabbling in another discipline. They don't mind taking it into another zone, right? And I won't even say like an uncomfortable zone, because Whaley has been working on that behind the scenes, right? To the point she's not uncomfortable with it anymore. She's been becoming this wrestler now, when we know her more as a brawler, as like a mover, but now she can dive in and smother a striker's attack. And then you got a fighter like Aaron, who she took on somebody that could hit harder, was throwing harder damaging punches. And she said, you know what, I ain't gonna stay on the outside like this all night. I'm gonna take it in, and I'm gonna muscle you, whether you people like it or not. I'm gonna take at least 2 of these rounds, because the first round didn't go my way. So I'm gonna be more so physically demanding. I'm gonna put that physically demanding style on you. So I think Manon might have to do that same thing, and she's gonna have to that has to be on her mind. Like, it can't be about proving I'm the better striker, or just saying I want to go strike for strike. It's about getting that W, man. It's about getting that W in the fashion that sees fit in the fight, and I think she's got to be, physically imposing on Rose. Why not? Why not use it to your advantage? I'm not just saying you run in there and be crazy with it, but you got to do like Whaley and late. You got to do like Whaley and Aaron did. You have to strike your way in, punch your way in, and just be all over her. That's how Whaley was to a hard puncher. She took her off of her feet. She took her off of her best weapons, which is her footwork, her range. She took all of that away from her and just kept punching and staying on top of her and rolling her, and, kept on, just drowning her, So that might be the game plan that they're going to have to do. Of course, they don't want to get too crazy on the ground with Rose, because her submission game is slippery. Rose is a slippery fighter. My thing is, just keeping it like a cage wrestling match, and even just like putting Rose, on her seat on the cage in the corner, and just, trying to tie up a leg like in a half guard position, and just really, being that physical type of specimen, getting that type of work in. You got to do that. Lolita, what's up? She said, I'm going to muscle you whether it's ugly or not. Right. I need to tire you out so you stop here. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the approach you got to take if you're fighting somebody that is a possibly better striker. Tyler can hit harder than Aaron. Lamos has more power than Whaley, right? But they took all that away this weekend. And you got to be able to do that. So you have to do that. Whether fans like the style or not, it just has to be done on you, because if you fight their fight and give them an exciting fight, you wind up getting knocked out, then what? then what, right? So same with this situation this weekend. I'm saying, when Manon takes on Rose, don't try to say, "Oh, I'm the better striker." I got the quicker hands, or I could beat her because I'm the bigger fighter. No, man, you don't do that. Like, you just go in there and use what you know is more. It's going to be more like demanding on her, and more taxing on her, because Rose has a blueprint to beat her as well. And it's not going to be at this rangy type of fight. It's not going to be at a waiting game, because Rose is the best fighter at the waiting game. She can just pick you apart from the outside. She can step in and out of range and do these little dances and just counterpunch you all day long, and she can steal rounds too. Like, that's another thing no one has to look at. Like, she might try to tire her out through the rounds trying to strike with her, and then Rose, when Rose, look, I promise you, man, look, the third round come, I can bet you, if Rose is having her way, she's going to try to secure a fight by taking Manon down in that third round, and she's going to try to lay and pray. That's usually what she does in these fights. To secure it, she's going to lay, she's going to take you down, try to submit you, but if not, she's just going to try to out wrestle you and put you on your back. That might be an option. That might be one of Rose's go-tos if all her other options just kind of fall into play and they start working for her. She'll try to secure that victory when that last round comes, or even starting in the second round. So I think it's important, but no, she takes control of that type of fight, being more so physical and breaking her down. But yeah, it should be I think it's gonna be better than a lot of people think. But like I said, I'm saying that too because if Manon does make the right adjustments in this fight and she does win it, I don't want to hear nobody say this thing was a mismatch either. I don't want to hear nobody say it's a mismatch, because you're already judging her and saying, okay, everybody is rating her as a good fighter, which I do. Manon, Rose is probably, like I said, the better boxer in this fight. She is going to be coming in as the better striker, because she's already beaten champions with her striking, right? So yeah, we got to give her that. Definitely got to give her that. Yeah, who else is on this card? I said Zara Farron, looking for her first win. She's representing France, so they had to put her on the card. She's looking for her first win in the UFC. She's been in the UFC about 3 years now. Still hasn't got a victory yet. Let's see, who'd she lose to? Jocelyn Nunez last. She got stopped by Megan Anderson. Who else beat her? Felicia Spencer, if I remember correctly. So you got Zara Farron taking on that newcomer, that LFA bantamweight champion, Jacqueline Cavalcanti. That should be a good fight, man. For Cavalcanti, I think Cavalcanti, she kind of has like Amanda Nunes type of style when it comes to her striking. She doesn't hit as hard, but I think Jacqueline Cavalcanti, definitely a sharp. She's a sharp combination puncher. Fluid, fluid kicks too. I think she has a very good leg attack, low attack. So I think it's gonna come down to whoever's busier in this fight and whoever gets into a good rhythm, who's focused. I think Zara Farron, she got some power, but even in that Jocelyn Nunez fight, she kind of lost steam. So from what I've seen, Jacqueline, she looks more like the fighter with the gas tank. She looks like the fighter with more so the gas tank. Um, oh yeah, another new French girl they signed too. They signed a new French girl. She's going to be taking on Jocelyn Nunez. So got a couple of bantamweight fights, newcomers. Two newcomers, one hometown bantamweight, and the French girl, I can't remember her name. It's like Cronol, yeah, Cronol, and yeah, Jocelyn Edwards. So we'll see where this goes, man. These are the next two girls that they're trying to build up in the division, because bantamweight needs it right now. Marcus said, "What's up, man?" He said, "At work with one eye around the corner, looking out for his supervisor." All right, hey, if he pop up on you, don't tell him you listening to me. Oh man, yeah, man. He said, "And work with one eye." Oh wow. Claude said Manon has only lost one round in the UFC. She should get the next title shot if she beats Rose handily. Yeah, yeah. I think whose victory ever looks the most impressive out of these past 2 weekends, they deserve the title shot. Like right now, Aaron looked good. Aaron looked the part. I ain't mad at Aaron's approach. She did what she had to do to get the victory. I like it. But this one here holds a lot of weight too because number one, Manon was number one contender until Valentina got stopped. She dropped down to number two. She's still above Aaron, right? And yeah, she's 5-0 in the UFC. Only lost one round in the Chikagan fight. Um, Rose is a two-time champion, so if she comes in and beats Manon in convincing fashion, whoever wins this fight in dominant or convincing fashion is a next title contender. Yeah. James said Aaron should be next. Beating Santos is better than beating Rose at 125. Is it? I don't know, man. I mean, both Rose and both Tyler, they've been out of action for a while, but at least Rose has something to stand on. Rose is a former two-time champ, and she does have a better resume. Yeah, Tyler is a flyweight. She's been fighting her way up to flyweight, but again, she's been out just as long as Rose has, right? They both been out. One has more accolades, one has more accolades to me. And a lot of people actually feel like Rose gonna win this fight too. So that's saying that Rose got a lot of weight in this fight. Rose got a lot of talent too. Like we can actually say Rose is better. See, going at Tyler and Aaron, that fight, it was very going into I didn't even want to pick because I felt like it was very competitive. But some of y'all asked me and said, okay, when it comes to Manon and Rose, like who's gonna be the better boxer? Like who's a better pure boxer and who's had more victories in dominant fashion with their striking? I'd say Rose, yeah, but I know that's 115. Might be different at this weight though, right? James says, "Stop playing acting like Santos is not more legit." Yeah, she is, but I mean, she been out. She been out for a year too, man. She been out for a year. She been out for a year now. I mean, what else has she done since then? She ain't been doing much. Same thing with Rose, but when it come down to accomplishments, Rose is a legit fighter. A lot of people think Rose gonna win this fight, so that's telling me that maybe I was missing something. Maybe I missed something, right? A lot of people say Rose gonna win this fight, so that must mean Rose the better fighter. So Manon is fighting the better fighter here. So if Manon wins, then she deserves a title shot. And on top of that, like I said, she's been teetering from number one to number two already. Really, I don't care. I mean, both of them are in line for a title shot. And Aaron, being a little bit younger, she can wait a little bit. She can wait a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, Claus said beating the former champ holds a lot of weight. Yeah, James, it's about accolades, and it is about what you did at 125. And she did almost beat Valentina, but that's over a year ago too, right? That was over a year ago now. It all comes down to the right game plan for Manon. Like Manon has everything she needs to win. Everything from the outside looking in for me now. It's all in if she can utilize what I think she can do, right? Like she's gonna have to do, like I said, with like the last few fights I mentioned. She's gonna have to make this a physically She's gonna have to make this a physical, ugly fight. She's gonna have to make it a physical, ugly fight. Same way, like I said, Lemos got beat up by Wei Lee, right? You got to take away that striker's you got to take the striker's advantage away and be physical. I think when it comes to kicks, Manon has a good she has a good she could get a good start with kicks in this fight too, taking that lead leg away from chopping that lead leg down early, slowing Rose down, and then eventually making it that cage fight, that clinch fight. James said, I just told you that. I don't care who's next either. I mean, I could make an argument for both because they're both there and they both have good wins. I mean, when you're really trying to just say one deserves it over the other, you can't really say that because one has been there longer. An injury just stopped them. But to me, it could be either one. That's how I see it. Like we're in a division now that's just getting better, where fighters are going on undefeated streaks and they got good resumes. So it's just lining them up basically now, which is good to me because when you can get to that point where you can line them up, then that's saying, oh, wow, you got some legit fighters. To see a strawweight right now can't decide between Yan Zhang. Well, Yan should be the one, but can't decide between her and Tatiana. Mm. Yeah, it makes sense, James. It's just something you don't want to hear. That's all. Lolita said Manon didn't want to go for the belt. She wanted to wait. Aaron said she always wanted the belt, an opportunity. Well, Grasso said the same thing. But the thing with Manon is like she would have got the shot. She was just injured. Everybody keep overlooking the fact that she was injured, and Grasso said the same thing. Y'all forget that Grasso didn't want this shot. She just got it, and it put her in that position to win it. You know what I mean? So nobody wanted it at the time. Nobody really said anything about wanting it except Aaron. But the thing is, Grasso, when that injury came in, Grasso got it. They made her take it. Well, Valentina turning down an Aaron fight. When was she offered this fight? Like y'all brought that up to me over the summertime. Like when was she offered this fight? Like why would she take that fight when she got a rematch with Grasso? That's what I don't understand. Like why would she take on a fight with Aaron when she trying to take this Grasso fight? Valentina deserved the rematch Valentina deserves the rematch now with Grasso. She don't need to fight Aaron right now. Like she didn't need to fight Aaron in between. She just fought Grasso in March. Now she fighting her now next month, 6 months later. So there's no need to squeeze in an Aaron fight. She gonna take on the new champion because she was the champion. See, James, you missing what I'm saying. I just said that. We know Grasso didn't want it, but she pulled it off. That's what I'm saying. because Lolita brought it up. She said Manon didn't want it. Well, Grasso didn't want it either. But the difference is Manon couldn't take it because she was injured. You guys are missing the point. I know she took the fight, of course, because she had to. She had no choice. The same thing would have happened to Manon if she wasn't injured. She would have been forced to take the fight. That's the whole point. That's what I'm saying. Oh man, I'm a little over time here. I gotta get out of here, y'all. But shout out to everybody in chat. I'm about to. Claude said Aaron turned Val fight down, not the other way around. That's what I thought. Somebody said that to me last summer or this past summer. I don't know the situation. I was focused on Aaron and Tyler and Valentina and Grasso because Grasso, Valentina 1 and 2. That's all that needed to happen right then. Like Valentina lost the belt, she needed some get back. Aaron didn't need to get squeezed in there. That's my point. Aaron didn't even need to get squeezed in there at the time. So saying Valentina ducked her or Aaron tried to get the fight and turned it down, that fight wasn't even up for the fight made no sense right then because Valentina wanted Grasso for her second fight. She lost the belt. That's what it had to be. But shout out to the chat. I gotta go. I just wanted to do a few minutes up here. And I'll probably get back on later because I want to do a keys to victory on Manon versus Rose for sure. I definitely want to do a keys to victory on this one. And yeah, because I think it's gonna be a good fight this weekend. It's gonna be a good fight. But yeah, I'll be back on a little bit later, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm out. Peace.